Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to my recap of Season 2, Episode 5 of Insecure. This is a good episode. Your girl Issa pops up at Daniel's house trying to sound sexy at the door. She tried it. She's getting slightly better at her hoeing. She didn't sound as awkward as she usually does. Daniel, he opened the door looking like a vending machine of snacks. A Mr. Good Bar, some M&Ms, a Twix, some Skittles. According to Issa, she and Daniel are friends who I want to know if someone has informed Daniel of this, because after they have the sex, he clearly doesn't want her to leave. But that's what friends who do. You have the sex and then you dip. I don't think he's just in it for the sex. He starts asking about plans for tomorrow and she ain't even left today. But according to Issa, later in the episode, she tells Molly that they're on the same page and they have an understanding. She tells Molly later that she's trying to do a hotation, that she's not about feelings right now. You know what I've never understood? How people who just want to be about that whole life always end up with people who want relationships. Like, there's enough people who just want to have the sex. Why do y'all gotta go find people who clearly have feelings and want more? Just stick to other people who don't want anything other than orgasm. It can make things so much more simple. I wish that Issa would just leave Daniel alone for right now. I think Daniel is a dope dude. Issa's obviously not in her mind space right now to build with anybody. I don't know how many more times that she can do this back and forth. What I don't want is old girl to mess around and hurt this dude's feelings and he's done with her and then our show loses a snap. Issa decided to add a new guy to her rotation. We meet Nico, an older Latino dude. He's cool. He's awkward like her. They sit around talking about comics. They seem to have a nice date. Issa has an inner whole monologue that she manages to subdue through the date. Thank you very much. Issa suggests that they keep hanging even though it's midnight, which we all know what that was going to lead to. And he's like, no, I have to take a flight in the morning. But because he didn't want her to feel like he wasn't interested, he's like, I had a good time. We should do this again. Getting asked out for a date while you're still on a date is always a good sign. I don't know where it's going to go with him, but he seems like a nice guy. We'll see. I think he's cute. I think he's respectful. I like that he reached for the check and insisted on paying. I was mad at Issa for reaching for the bill. Ma'am, it's a first date. It's okay to allow yourself to be treated. These dudes out here got you thinking you got to go Dutch on everything. You got to reach in your pocketbook. No, ma'am. If they interested, they'll gladly pay. At work, Issa's frizzy-haired friend ain't feeling her no more. Honestly, this issue with the Latino kids, it's a problem. Frizzy hair called her out and she was like, yo, it's racist. And yes, black people can be racist. This is wrong. And Issa knows it. You got to stand up for the kids. Black, white, brown, they're kids. You stand up for kids. It's the right thing to do. The next morning, your girl is at a retreat for work. Issa is bored, goes into the bathroom and gets a text from Big Head. He's like, oh, you bored? Make a video. Issa, girl, you at the office. You're standing in community space in the bathroom and going to lift up your shirt and take video of your titties. Are you kidding me? And then your dumb got caught by a coworker. Ma'am, this is your job. This is where your bills get paid. If you're going to do crazy at work, can you at least take it in the bathroom stall? I'm not saying be a lady. I'm just saying keep your private. Now your coworker know that you're taking videos of your titties in the company bathroom. And if you think she ain't telling the whole office, you're dead wrong. After the retreat, I guess Issa's driving over to Daniel's house. She's on whatever app trying to get some new peen. She gets a picture of a dick and gets so distracted that she runs into the back of a car. Ma'am, did you total your car looking at dick pics while you drive? Don't text and drive. Don't look at dick and drive. She didn't even ask Daniel to come get her. Daniel was just like, I got you. I'm on the way. He's so fine. Oh my God. Ain't nothing sexier than having a man you can rely on. Daniel showed up quick and in a hurry. Issa, your girl just ruined the moment. She was like, yeah, just so we're clear, I'm seeing other people and you're seeing other people. You know, this is just sex and it's not serious. You could tell he just agreed with her to protect his pride. He actually likes you. Damn. Truth be told, Molly is my favorite character on this show. We still good after this episode, but girl, you was on one to start. And this isn't why I'm upset with her. Molly's in the Chicago office. She's hanging out with TSA dude from Get Out, the greatest best friend ever. Like, I really like his energy. I like how supportive he is of Molly. I like that he sees the best in her. I don't think they should date because they work in the same company, even though they're in different offices. But he's a good dude. He was like, oh, I got a preacher's body. Like, ain't nobody mad at that. We learned that Molly hasn't said anything in her job about them underpaying her. He gives her some great encouragement. He's like, look, you have options. Have you considered moving to another firm? Back in LA, day, Molly is prepping for her parents' vow renewal. She's putting some bouquets together. She takes them over to the house. Lo and behold, who appears but our friend married Dro. He helps Molly with the flowers, and then he wants to have a little chit chat. Molly's like, we both had a lot to drink. He's like, no, I wasn't drunk. I was very sober. Molly's honest with him. She's like, I gave it some thought. I've absolutely been thinking about you, but you're married and I'm not down for open relationship. And I was really proud of Molly in that moment. She's shut it down. She's like, that's not what I'm looking for. Molly is looking for what her parents have. The day of the vow renewal, Molly pops up with Randall, who's over here on HBO calling himself Lionel. Now look, Randall, I've seen the season 2 teasers for the upcoming season of This Is Us, which I will be recapping. Randall, you and Beth seem to have adopted a new baby according to these previews, and Beth is not handling the adoption well. I need you to take yourself back to NBC where you belong and help Beth manage the new baby and the kids. You're a gorgeous man. I like to see you branching out, but sir, I don't like to see you out here playing yourself, okay? Thank you. I'm trying to figure out why Molly brought Randall to this event. You've been on one date with this man, and now you're inviting him to be around your family at essentially a wedding? What are you doing? And you look crazy because everybody can see that you're not into him. Dro walks up when Molly's standing there with Lionel. He's like, oh, you two work together? And Molly's like, oh, no, he's a mortgage broker. And he's like, no, actually, I work in marketing. And then later, Molly's brother calls her on the shit. He was like, why you got this dude here? Obviously, you ain't interested in him. And she's like, well, he's a nice guy and I want what mom and dad have. And he's like, yeah, there's a little more to it than just being a nice guy and everything works out. Your parents actually have chemistry and interest in one another. Those are two things that you don't have in Randall. Molly wanders over to the auntie team. One of the best and worst things about growing up is no longer being regulated to the kids' table and the grown folks just speak freely around you. But then they also start spilling tea that you're just like, oh my God, mama did what? And this was one of those moments. Molly's aunt says she's shocked that the parents were together this long because Molly's father put her sister through some shit. Molly's like, wait, my perfect father? She goes and asks her brother. Her brother confirms that their father cheated on their mother. Molly, and this is where she lost me this episode. Molly has a full-blown meltdown. Her parents come into the kitchen. Molly calls out her father. I get that this is new information to you. I get that it can be devastating. Their relationship is not your relationship. That's their marriage. It's not yours. You were born into it. You cussing and carrying on with all the friends and family sitting up in the house? Absolutely not. We don't believe in embarrassment in my family. Ma'am, you out of goddamn line. And Molly's mama should have cussed her full the fuck out for that. She storms out the house on her parents at their vow renewal. Ma'am. She goes outside. Randall sees her all upset. He's like, hey, is everything okay? She flatly ignores him. You invited this man as your guest. Molly, you my girl, but you're wrong. Lionel doesn't know what to do. He's looking at Dro. Dro is looking at him like, dude, do something. Dro goes after her. Molly's sitting in the car all distraught, super blown. He drives her home. Molly's all upset. He walks her to the door. Molly's like, how are you going to get home? Honey, that's a grown-ass man. Girl. Molly goes into the apartment. It looks like she's actually going to be the stand-up woman that we've seen her being. She's in her feelings. She pulls Dro back. Next thing we know, she and Dro are in the bed having the sex. It looked good. That's not what you wanted, Molly. Your father not being perfect doesn't mean that what you want is impossible. Molly, girl, I was rooting for you. I'm going to just say this ain't your best decision. I'm not going to drag you. People make bad decisions when they're in emotional places, and I leave it at that. Your boy Lawrence had jury duty. He gets bored, starts scrolling through Facebook. He goes across Kelly's page. He sees a picture with Issa and Daniel chit-chatting in the background. Then your boy goes to Daniel's page. He's so enthralled that he misses when the judge tells him that he could go. He goes to the bar with his boy Derek. He's telling Derek that he thinks Issa might have been cheating on him the whole time. He's all in his feelings that Issa's still hanging out with Daniel. Y'all broke up. You packed your shit and left the house. When Issa came to talk to you, you told her to leave you alone. Then you came by the house, gave her the best 30 seconds you had to offer, and dipped. Then you told her best friend you were getting an apartment and you were done. I'm confused as to why she shouldn't be hanging out with Daniel. What is she supposed to be respecting? Derek is finally the person to call Lawrence on his, because it was never going to be Chad. Chad just ain't that deep. But Derek was like, my dude, you sat in the house for 2 years and let your woman support you. You got to understand why she would be attracted to a man who was working and had something going on for himself. You opened the door for that to happen. And I think Lawrence might have got it, because the end of the episode, he's sitting at home alone on his laptop looking at Issa's Facebook. He was sitting outside her house last week. His boy put a bug in his ear, called him on his shit. Tasha called him out about his shit. Maybe Lawrence is ready to have a come to Jesus moment. I wouldn't be surprised if he called her next week. Here's the thing though. I don't think Issa wants him back. I actually think she enjoys being a bad hoe. I don't know. But you let me know what you think about that. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll catch you next week.